Are there any other projects in the near future that will take bonding? Are there any other projects on a strategic plan or any other plans in the future for other building projects in Canton?
I would say that as part of the strategic plan, there is not anything in the immediate future that is on the radar to be used for bonding capacity. Are there other projects that we want to do? Yes. What are they? Bike trails, tennis courts, ball fields, senior centers, things like this. Have we decided which one's going to be next? No. Is it going to maybe require bonding? Perhaps. Those things are things that we're going to need to decide in the future, and trying to guess now what's going to be next would kind of be foolish. We need to do another study like we've done to get to the point where we are now with our swimming pool. And so we want to listen to the citizens again and then go forward once we have project number 2 on the books and project number 1.
What is the timetable? What is the timetable for looking at the Canton Aquatic Center, presuming that we're able to successfully pass a bond and raise funds? If everything were to line up and the citizenry were to support this initiative, what would be the timetable?
Currently, the engineers and architects are working on preliminary plans as we speak. The city, I believe, has signed a contract with them to do 50% drawings. Those will be ready at the end of the month, based off the design concept we have currently, which is the direction we plan on taking. Assuming everything comes in, the funding comes in, the city moves forward, they are looking at demolition in August of this year of the existing pool house and surrounding hard surfaces. They anticipate, or we plan on using the existing vessel as a concrete form for the new pool and then expanding it to the north for the zero entry, and then a little bit to the west. All things coming to a head here. They're talking about opening up, I believe, June of next year then, being open. Doing a lot of the work required for outside this fall, doing inside work, pool house type of non-sensitive weather type work in the wintertime, and then finalizing it in the spring and opening up June of 2014.
If the Aquatic Center is built for future town growth, what is available for housing development to fulfill the families moving here?
Well, that's another thing we've been working very hard on, and it's not an easy thing just to do and to say, here's a housing development, come live here. But we have been courting builders for a few years now, and we feel we're starting to make some headway in that. And we do have a development of 15 or 16 houses going up just to the north here, a block. We should start seeing some ground broke on that this spring, hopefully. And that'll be the first phase in some housing development. We have located other places in and around the city for potential development. We have shown them to developers, and there's starting to be some interest of possibly some more development in that phase too. One of the big keys to that was the lagoon project. Until we had completed that lagoon project, we really weren't ready for more development. Now we are, and we think we'll see that going forward.
John, where is that 15 complex going? Again, I didn't get the direction in Canton.
It's where the trailer park was just removed.
Okay.
Yep, just north of us, 1 block.
Very good. And another question, what percentage of our assessed valuation can we bond? I was going to say, I think it's back to you.
5%.
5%. Very good. And the question here, follow-up, is what about Dakota Street repair? Anyone?
Mr. Mayor,
Certainly. As with a lot of these projects, that is something that is on the radar screen. It is nothing that's a real pressing. Just getting back to the bonding We do have some bonding capacity left. This will not take our entire bonding capacity. So in case of an emergency, there is some bonding we have left there. But all of these things, you know, our mission is to be a premier South Dakota city. So we've got to look at, you know, what does that take? Will a swimming pool make us a premier city? No. Will a citizen center? No. We just got to take a look at this as one comprehensive plan to get us to that mission statement.
And as a follow-up to that, how does this play in with what the businesses are doing and the development that's happened with some of our employers in the area? Do you see that as any kind of extension, or what can we do as citizens in Canton to support what they're doing in the business sector?
Just continue. I think we've seen a lot of success from what we have been doing. It's just making it a welcome community for people to come to do business. All these different facilities are just little pieces of the whole puzzle that make them want to come here.
Very good. Okay. Any other questions from the audience? Or I'm sorry, Dr. Toso?
I'm going to piggyback on that. What can we do to help the businesses? And I'm going to say what we can do to help the city. I've been on the commission now for a little while, and I've discovered that a fair amount of our budget comes from sales tax. Sales tax is received when you purchase something in the city, 2%. Roughly $850,000 of our budget, or $3 million budget, comes from sales tax. That's a pretty healthy percentage. And one of the ways that we as citizens can help improve that number is to buy more things in Canton and encourage others, pardon me, to do the same.
All right, the question reads, if the bond issue doesn't pass, will this project be able to move on with just donations and fundraising?
No. No, we really need the bond issue to pass. It's a major part of it, you know, unless donations come in extraordinarily high, which would be great. Then we can save our bond. But no, we expect that if we do not pass the bond issue, we will not build a pool.
And again, that comes down to the 3 ways that we're funding the pool again.
Correct.
If you could reiterate for us.
The bond issue will be roughly 1.5 million. The city is contributing 750,000 roughly, and we hope to fundraise, which includes grant money, up to $1 million.
That's all right.
But who's helping us with the grants?
Good question.
That gentleman right there, Steve Klein and his group, Steve has a professional grant writer on his staff that is actively seeking grants for us as we speak.
And hearing no further questions from the cards, we will open up time for folks to ask some questions.
Of the park, is this pool gonna take from what we have now? Is it gonna get rid of the whole park, or where's the parking lot gonna be, and the ball fields, and?
They're looking at restructuring the existing parking lot and utilizing that as the parking space. The playground structure to the west of the pool will remain where it's at. So the fence to the pool would be closer to the play structure, but nothing will be disturbed. Maybe those little diggers off to the north or something like that.
Will we have room to grow? I mean, if this, you know, in a few years, if we wanna expand the pool even bigger?
When we met with, I'll kind of explain the design process. We interviewed my design community group here, committee. We took the effort of spending quite a bit of time of contacting several pools, Flanders, T, Pipestone, Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. All these are recent pools built, and we had a series of questions to ask them. Many of them were, what was the estimated cost of your pool? Where did the bids come in? What did you do that you liked? What would you have done otherwise? What has the response been from the public for your pool? What amenities do you have and why? And which ones do you like and don't like? A series of questions. And based off that information we got, and then we kind of came up with an idea of how big we need to have it. After that process, we interviewed 3 different design teams. One of them being Burbach Aquatics, one of them being Associated Pool Builders, and another one being SCH Engineers in conjunction with US Aquatics. After the interview process of all 3 of those with the committee and I guess all the committees in general to some extent, we made a recommendation to the city. And I'm getting your question, Rich, but I'm explaining the process here. I'm not trying to delay it. But after we made the selection, the city council approved to move forward with them. We then brought US Aquatics and SCH in and said, typically what would you see for a community our size that a pool growth need would be? And what they said was, you need to size it for a 20 to 25% growth of what you have now as far as the pool size will last you a long time. And what they did is that's their specialty is pools. They have a running track record of these growth patterns in small communities, and that's what they recommended. So the new pool you see now is established for that 50, 60-year growth of use is what it is. At that time, you know, they say pools have usually a 50-year lifespan, roughly, regardless of the pool style you have. Of course, ours is way beyond that. Then you'd have to look at maybe expanding again. Rich, you won't have to worry about it in your lifetime. And I probably won't either.
Maybe.
But if it were to expand, it would probably expand to the west, and you'd have to deal with that play structure at that time.
No, this doesn't have any, the ballparks aren't gonna be affected at all, right?
They're gonna get the benefit from it, actually, as is the park by having running water and flushing toilets to the park and ball
Yeah.
fields.
But I mean,
So-
the fields and all that.
No,
are-
no, that all stays right where it's at.
And they're gonna have plenty of the same parking areas that, you know, because there's a lot of parking on a baseball night there.
The engineers were talking to the city about that, and that was, part of that was with the location committee as far as what was available for the site and cost associated. Like I said, we're using the existing vessel as a concrete form to pour the new pool, which is a ton of savings for the cost of the pool. They are doing a study, I believe, on the parking lot to see what can be done on that, to get more parking in there and to ease the traffic flow through there. So it's under consideration of what can be an improvement on the parking as well.